I'm Bill Payne with WJD Builders out of Jackson, and I'm the site superintendent for a new Habitat for Humanity homes here in Valley Springs. And this home, we're doing a lot of energy efficient features. We're expecting to get basically a net zero house here where we'll produce as much energy from this house as the homeowner uses. So what we've got going on right now there on the side of the house is we're doing a high density foam barrier on the outside, and that is a thermal break. So that separates the framing stud from the outside edge of the house, where the hot or the cold will transmit right through the stud to the inside of the house. So that gives us extra insulation, and it cuts down on the conductivity of the stud running through the wall. We're just getting started on our roof, and we're going to be doing solar electric on the other side of the roof. So from this side of the house, you can see our mounting brackets for the solar electric panels that are going to go on this house. And I believe we're going to have around 20 panels up there. It's a 2 kilowatt system, which will generate somewhere in the vicinity of 3,500 AC kilowatts when the system's all done. So that'll provide a lot of the electrical power for this house. And we're also, if you notice, there's very little venting around this house underneath. We do a sealed crawl space, and it keeps the atmospheric air, the hot and the cold air, from going in and out underneath this house and heating that space up in the summertime, or making it cold in the winter, so that the underneath the house stays a lot more moderate, and we reduce the venting. So we probably save a little bit of money on the labor and on the amount of venting that goes in underneath the house. So not all of the features to do an energy efficient house typically cost more. Inside the house, we'll look at that here in a little bit, and we do a lot less framing on the inside and a lot more insulation. On our windows and doors, the windows are double pane, low E. That's pretty much standard building code these days in California. The low E cuts down on the amount of radiant heat that passes through the window. The doors are a fiberglass door, and they help insulate the house rather than using like a metal door. And that's our building shell. This is the high-density foam that we're using on the outside of the house as thermal break. It's just about 3/8 of an inch thick, but it's very stiff, and we can apply the trim and the siding right over the top of this. And so this material wraps the whole outside envelope of the house from edge to edge, and it does have a little foil back, gives a little bit of radiant barrier to it. So it's low R value. It's maybe an R2. They say, it could be rated up to about an R3.5 because of the high density. So it's not a real high R value, but the real benefit is that you stop the conduction of the stud all the way to the outside edge of the house. And that is our what we call thermal break. So that adds a few $100s to the cost of the house. Most of the energy efficient features that we're doing are not real expensive, and some of them do save money. On our framing, we go to 2-foot-on centers with a 2x6 stud, and that allows us to get an R21 insulation in the wall. And because we're going out to 2-foot-on centers, we reduce the amount of lumber that it takes to build the house. We also, in our corners, we keep our corners open where the insulation is not blocked out of the corners, and you can get insulation all the way to the outside of the wall. So when you reach in here, you can reach in all the way to the outside of the wall, and that's not blocked out. You see that in a lot of homes even today where the framers block these corners out, and you can never get insulation in them. This home is going to be an Energy Star rated home. So for Energy Star, one of the requirements that you have to have is you have to have R19 insulation in what they call the knee walls. So these walls up here are considered knee walls. And because they're an interior wall, they're only 2x4, which would only allow us an R13 insulation. So what we've done on the back side is we've put a foam board on the other side that gives us around an R10, and then we'll be able to put our R13 in there and meet the energy code requirements for the knee walls. That also helps us encapsulate that insulation up there and keep any air drafts from running through the insulation. So that's a requirement to get a home to Energy Star. So hopefully our builders will be looking at building a lot more Energy Star homes, and these kind of features will be built in and make our homes more energy efficient. This does not cost all that much more. We've got a little bit of material and foam there. On our roof sheathing up here, we have radiant barrier, and that is applied directly to the plywood. So when the house is built, they put the plywood on, that radiant barrier goes directly down. So there's no extra labor involved in putting that radiant barrier in. That's another feature that's very reasonable. The added extra cost on a home is a couple $100s to do that radiant barrier, and that will keep the attic considerably cooler in the summertime. Rather than being 140 degrees up in the attic, it can cut 20 degrees off, so you may only be maybe 120, which is pretty significant. So it reduces the cooling load, and you may you may get a payback on the order of about 5 years or a little bit more on energy savings by using the radiant barrier. You hear some claims that it'll save 50% on your cooling load, but some of the research laboratories that have done studies on that are saying more on the lines of about 10% or a little bit more. So that is a good energy saving feature to put in any new home. This area here in the house is the kitchen area. We have a little pantry area here. Then this area in here is a laundry closet, so there'll be a washer and a dryer. We'll be doing a tankless water heater, and that will build into this panel here. This is our plumbing coming up for the tankless water heater, and that'll be mounted on the outside of the house. And then it'll be recessed into the wall. And the tankless water heaters, they're more expensive initially. They do save about 30% on costs on heating the water because they aren't storing any hot water. So they only work when you turn the hot water on, and it delivers on-demand hot water. So those are very good energy efficient features. The total area of this house is around 1,000 square feet, so it's not a real large home, but it will be very energy efficient and very comfortable. So this is the hallway through the house. We have the bathroom on this side. This is just one bathroom in the home. There's a little den dining area here off to the side. Then towards this back, we've got a bedroom over here, and back on this side of the house, there's another bedroom over on that side. So 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, and we have an area up above where our furnace will be up in the attic. And then this house will have an evaporative cooler. We're not doing air conditioning on this house because of the expense of running air conditioning, So we think in this dry climate that we're in Valley Springs, the evaporative cooler, along with the energy efficient features of the radiant barrier, the extra insulation, will make this house very comfortable. So this Habitat for Humanity home, we're doing common sense, energy efficient features. We're anticipating that this house will be a net zero house, so it will not cost anything in utilities for the homeowner to operate this house during the year. If the homeowner is conscious and energy efficient and turns their lights off, uses compact fluorescent bulbs and that type of thing, they may be able to achieve that. So we're hoping that that's where we're going to end up with this house when we're all done. With Habitat for Humanity, this home is purchased by someone that Habitat interviews and selects. The person that's buying the home ends up putting in, I believe it's around 400 hours of work and basically sweat equity into the house. They're out here every weekend. We work 2 days a week on the home, and we expect this house should be finished maybe in the next 2.5 months and be ready for the homeowner to move in. So it doesn't cost a lot to do some of the advanced framing techniques, some of the advanced sealing, and it makes the house quite a bit more energy efficient. And that's what we're doing here at Habitat.